Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. And here is our new little neighborhood area. It's coming together quite nicely. And remember, we were trying to see if having more housing opportunities is going to lower our stress. And it doesn't really seem like that is really happening that quickly, at least with the garden villas I got set up over in here. As you can see, we got quite a few going, so lots of opportunity for housing, but not quite enough, I guess, to bump up our fertility rate. Maybe if it's talking about putting in like I don't know, 3 dozen houses or something, and maybe that would lower it a little bit. But for now, we just got these nice garden villas going on. They themselves reduce stress by 25%, quite nice. We do have lots of puppies that we could plop in here to help reduce the stress even further. As well, we could get some cats to do a little bit of the same thing. So that's what's going on in this little area. It's coming together pretty nicely. We do have our academy built now. We still have to add some textbooks to it though. So let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. We have the recitation set. Let's get that one going. Reduce stress by 10% is why I like that. And then we have mechanical principles I really like. Additional tech experience while working. So we'll get those 2 things going, and we will add in paper to this academy. I was going through our research institutes and swapping from paper to rope. So remember, now we were doing our little areas over in here, our touristy things, and we got our groceries where we were selling some paper and some books, and we ran out. We tapped everything we had. We were trying to kind of get this going back up a little bit here. But what I decided to do was swap over to rope instead of paper to try to hopefully help this out a little bit. So we should be getting some paper coming back. And then hopefully, of course, that means we'll be getting some books as well. That's kind of what we're doing over in this little area. We worked on that several episodes ago, trying to get it going a little bit better. And we're just kind of struggling to really get our traction back. I'm really struggling with workers. We just had 40 people arrive in the town from immigrants, but you wouldn't know it because we're down to 7 already. I did set up a caravan though, so that's where 10 people are going out on the caravan, of course, but still, man, we are going through people like crazy fast here. So it would be really great to get this fertility rate figured out. And then, of course, as you just saw, we are still having warehouse problems, even though we did all those upgrades in the last episode on our regular warehouses. We did the expansion upgrades, and while that was beneficial, of course, it's not quite enough, I guess. So I'm still going through. We're upgrading our storage yards to durable storage yards that we got a couple episodes ago. It's taking some time. They are prioritizing building these houses up over in this area first. So that's what's kind of going on with that situation. I do have some more luxury furniture and luxury bedding on the caravan coming back. That's what we were purchasing. Hopefully we'll have enough to build the rest of these garden villas and get a couple of luxury houses in there here as well. So stress hopefully is on the side of reduction, but you know, it's kind of a thing that's always going to be happening when we have large towns like this. Can't really do a whole lot more about it. Looks like we got a house that was destroyed over in here. I think that was from a fire that happened. So we'll rebuild that. That's not that big of a deal. But okay. So this warehouse thing is a big deal, right? We got lots of warehouses around here. Everybody's full. They're upgraded when they can be upgraded. So we need to do something. And last episode, we talked about this a little bit more. We're trying to get to storage boost, but I was hoping that those upgrades we did on all the warehouses was going to be enough to where we wouldn't really need to do anything more with it, because we doubled our capacity with our warehouses. So it was like we have 30 warehouses, and that's just not enough. So I think we gotta go for a storage center. So let's go ahead. We'll get our storage boost going on. We'll get the storage center going on. Now, we almost have, okay, we have 2 points now for our technology. And what I think I would like to do, I'm kind of torn between getting the meat feast going and bakery going. I think we'll go for meat feast because I think we got a lot of meat sitting around, meat chops, that we could use for that. So let's go ahead, we'll get that. And then we talked about refined leather some time ago. We wanted that for our luxury furniture, so we could build our own luxury furniture. The problem with that, of course, is, well, we need some lanterns, and lanterns we're working on. We have some things in place for that, but let's go for refined leather, and we'll go for meat feast. So gourmet shop and the leather shop. Here's our gourmet shop. We'll go ahead and we'll get this little area coming together over in this space. So we'll throw one down. We'll go right in here. It's kind of close by to where we got some meat stuff happening. So here's our butcher. It's where all of our meat chops are getting processed. Lots of pork we got sitting around, producing those into meat chops, of course. So we're hopefully going to be able to use some of those over in here in our gourmet shop, and we need pottery. Okay, so we need 54 pottery and we have no extra workers. So let's go over here to our dock. We should be able to order some pottery, right? Okay, great. Let's go for like 200 pottery. We don't really need a ton of it, but we'll go ahead and we'll just do 200 for now. And we'll get that ordered up. That should be here shortly. So we'll be able to get this thing going up and operational here soon. And then the other thing we were going to do is the leather shop, and we also have the leatherware hut. So we first need the leather shop. We got to process leather into refined leather so that we can use it in the leatherware hut. Let's grab our leather shop, get that guy about right there, and then let's go back in here, and then we'll grab our leatherware hut and get this guy going also. One thing that I kind of noticed that I had been doing was when I lay these roads out like this, so this is where I want obsidian roads, right? I don't think this counts as a road. Why would it, right? So I think what this is essentially doing is there's no road here at all. So I'm kind of torn now. I think I gotta either do dirt roads in here, which we've been doing, of course, this whole game, or we decide to go to stone roads and kind of supplement until we can replace with obsidian roads. And that's, I mean, that's a lot of work, a lot of dinking around for that, all that stuff. You know, I think we'll just go with dirt roads for now. And if we can transition over to our obsidian roads, that's great. I'm not gonna like redo all of this just because we have some of this done already. It's just something to point out. I was laying it out like that, wasn't really thinking about it. And then I was working on our new little area, building up those garden villas. And I was like, hey, I wonder, this probably doesn't do anything. So I have been putting dirt roads all over in here. So that's going on. If we can get some obsidian really cooking, that would be great. But it's a lot. It's a process to really get that stuff happening. So we haven't really been able to do that. Okay, so we're getting this stuff good to go. Let's go. While we're waiting for it, let's grab our storage center. And we'll get one of these guys started up over in here too. I think this would be a good thing to get going over in here since we have so many different processes going on. Let's get that guy going on. And replace this herds worker. Okay, we'll get this built up. We should be able to do this pretty easily. The building kits are the only iffy thing, the difficult thing that we have around here, but we should be able to handle that, no problem. So these things are getting there. We'll revisit this in just a moment. Here's something that I was just thinking about. So what if we turned off some of these farms we got going around here? So for two reasons. We need the workers, and each one of these is rocking 3 people, right? We also have tons of food. Right? Oh, like 367,000 pieces of food. Like, okay, that's a little excessive, right? So I think what I'm going to do, it's the end of the season, so let's get these people harvest up what they're going to harvest. And you can see a bunch of this is going to be wasted anyways. Let's get some of these people out of these farms, and we'll get them working elsewhere around the town. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these farms turned off, and then I think I'm going to clear them. You know, I want to upgrade them anyways if we're going to have farms over in here. So that's what I think I'm going to do over in here and get this space a little bit cleaned up a little bit. All right, so this is what it looks like all cleaned up here. I still got these storage things in here, and we'll do that for now. But we're going to get this storage center built up over in here. This is kind of like an older spot. This is kind of like an older spot of town. So we don't really have a whole lot of wiggle room space over in here. So I think what we'll do, we'll just do the storage center in here, and hopefully we can utilize that a little bit more. Do we even open up any space over in here? Oh yeah, we could put some more houses in this little area, so that would be good too. So that's something else to consider. We'll probably put a couple more villas in there or something like that. But anyway, so that's underway. That's what that looks like. And then back over in here, we have our leather shop, still waiting for some lanterns, but that's okay. But our gourmet shop is good to go. So let's see, what do we need here for some of these really top tier foods? All right, so here in our gourmet shop, we have our picnic. And we are going to utilize buffalo jerky for that, which we don't have. We haven't been working on that, but we do have some coffee, and that's going to yield us picnics. Or we go for ham and coffee, and that's picnics. Picnics is our 150 hunger, 60 happiness, and very filling. So that's a good thing to have for sure. Then we have delicacies. Ooh, there's that minus 40 stress. I want that. You know I do. So that's something to consider here. We need rack of lamb or baked lobster and then veggie salad. So that's a lot. That's a lot of processing that goes into that food for sure. The rack of lamb, we don't have any lamb. So we might have to get a couple more critters going on. But even that rack of lamb is stress minus 10%. So that could be pretty good. Steak though. Steak and beer for a feast. And ooh, minus 50 stress. That's, yeah, okay. Okay, we do know we have some steak. You can see we have reserves 8 there. So what we might have to do is ban steak to really focus on getting feasts going out. And that, I mean, that's a pretty good trade, I think. But yeah, we'll do it like this for now. I like having the steak going. It's a very important piece, but to make the feast would be really great as well. So I think what we'll do, let's go ahead and we'll ban that steak stuff. So here's our steak. We're gonna go ahead and ban it. So we'll revisit this in a little. We'll see how this feast thing is going on in a moment here, and hopefully Luke is able to produce some of that for us. We got some steak in reserve already, 200. So that seems to be well on the way. Might need to throw a couple more workers in there, but you know, we don't have any. Okay, leatherware hut. Let's see what we got going on here. So we have the fine handbag, leather shoes, and leather boots. Fine handbag is going to take some refined leather or seal fur to make some fine handbag. And these guys are just a really high value tradable good. They're worth 123 a piece. Pretty good. Leather shoes. These guys are usable for the town, of course. Increases movement speed. And it's only going to require some regular old leather, so that's doable. Leather boots are just going to take refined leather and then seal fur. So let's go for leather shoes. We'll let this thing run because we got one worker in there already. Now the leather shop, still waiting on some lanterns, so we can't quite do anything with that just yet. But I'm really excited to see how these feasts affect the town. We don't have any made even yet, but we're getting there, so we'll see. We'll revisit that in a little bit. And I think what we'll do, I want to go through some more of our farms and kick some people out. It is June, so it's kind of a weird time to do it. Maybe I want to wait until the end of the year, but I really think that was a good idea. We got this cleared up over in here. We'll see how our food situation is looking. Let's see if we can go ahead and look at the graph here. So here's what we got going on for food, just overall. 99,000 food produced, and then we're consuming 73. So we're well above our consumption, so we should be pretty good for some time now. Oh, storage center, good to go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn all this off, so hopefully they start moving this stuff out of here. And what I'm hoping they do is move this stuff right over in here, and then that'll be in our storage center and we'll be good to go. So these things are vast. They have lots and lots of wiggle room for lots of good stuff, and that's exactly what we need right now, and we can even expand it. Let's go ahead, we're gonna do that. We'll double the size of each one of these 4 storage centers we have around town. So here I put one by the cattle and the processing area we got going on. Also put one up over by the new area in the academy. And here we go, the final 4th one. We're gonna also expand this. So this right outside this neighborhood over here on the corner of the map. Here's that other one here by all the farms. And then come on up over in here, of course, we have the one that we just added in, this guy. And oh, look at these. These are already good to go. So let's demo those out of here. So that'll get even further cleaned up. And then we come back over in here across the road, and then here is our other storage center going into this little neighborhoody area. So things underway, looking all right. Do we want to get any other food going on for the stress stuff? Do we get some lambs going, or do we just want to focus on what we got? Maybe we just focus on what we have right now. 719 steaks saved up. That's really good. Luke over here working by himself. We got to get him some backup. So let's just see what we got for some upgrades first of all. So this guy's gonna take some ovens. We could hire a new employee. So really nothing we can do for upgrades on the gourmet shop right now, other than of course putting a couple more workers in there. So September time, let's go through and we're gonna empty out some more of these farms here and get some more workers back, and we're going to get some to help Luke out. All right, we got a handful of workers back and a new storage facility set up and immigrants. So we got a couple of things happening on right now. It's great. So the gourmet shop is all full up. We got 4 people working in there now, so we should be turning some feasts around here pretty quick. We've already made 19, so we're getting there. We might want to do another gourmet shop or some other base things, like make more beer, make more steak, get all that stuff happening. Get another gourmet shop and get a lot of feasts going on. It'd probably be a good thing to do. Help with our stress, of course, kind of the priority right now. And then we have our leather shop completed, making some refined leathers from our regular old leathers and some salt. Man, salt is kind of a choke point. We've been putting a lot of effort into salt, and we still really don't have a whole lot going on with it. So a couple issues there, but we'll go ahead with another person in the sugar maker here. Not a whole lot of saved sugar up, so I want to get that resolved a little bit better here. And you know, let's go ahead, we'll get another person making some shoes. I think we have some reed shoes going on as well, but let's get some leather ones going too. Okay, 30 workers. That's pretty good. We're getting there, getting that resolved a little bit better with our laborers, and that's good. We want to have that for sure. Let's take a second and let's see what we got going on for some of our technologies here. So 2 points available. Of course, we did just get meat feast, so that's going on in the background, of course. And then we do have bakery as well that we could grab. This is going to be utilizing a couple of different things. We got flour in here and jam sugar. Honey, that's a big one, and the butter. So right now butter's going mostly for steak, and I kind of want to leave it that way. but I'm also really curious about getting some of this food going on again for the umpteenth time for stress. Let's get the bakery learned, and then we can get the bakery going. And then there's one other thing that I want to check out, and that's the battery modeling. So this thing is going to make it easier to upgrade our buildings when we have a bunch of the same building. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. I think it'd be real handy. But first, let's go ahead and come back over in here and let's get our bakery started up. We'll do one for now, and let's see what the recipes are calling for and what they all look like. And we can kick it up a notch if we want to. So we'll put the bakery right there. And then, as far as upgrades go, and then we have our tea shop here that can utilize some brick kiln action. We have lots of coffee beans, 17,000. So if we hit batch remodeling, you can see it changes the total number to 250 because we have 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. Throw a 0 on the end, 250, right? So that makes sense. That checks out. So let's go ahead. We'll do our batch remodel. Okay. And now it's showing up here. So let's go ahead to another tea shop. There it is. There it is. Awesome. That's so handy. I really like that. So that means if we go over to a guard pillow that we have here, let's see what we can do. So we have 19 puppies. So obviously we don't have enough materials for all that. So what's going to happen? It's not going to let us do it. So you have to have the required material to upgrade every single one. Otherwise you're going through and you're doing it by hand. So that's something. So we need 26. We need 7 more puppies. So let's go ahead. So if we do a caravan, what do we really need here? If we do a caravan, besides the puppies, of course, we always got to have puppies. We need 7 of those guys. Looks like we could use some down jackets. We're still rocking rough clothes. Man, this is not very good. Okay, so let's get some down jackets going on here. So we'll set up another caravan. All right, so here we go with the caravan. We're going to say meow. We're getting close to level 4 there, but we'll see that in just a second. Selling some iron statues. We have so many of those things. Puppies, ovens, luxury furniture on the way. Go ahead and get that thing formed up. And then let's go see what we got for faction. Meow is, well, not even halfway. So we got a lot of work yet to get to Meow level 4. Would really like to get to level 5. Additional 5% reduction of stress with that one. So, you know, stress thing. So trying to get that worked out. Okay, so but with 10 people in there, that's going to leave us with 12 laborers. We do have immigrants on the timeline, so it's working okay. It's working okay. So here we go with a new area I cleaned up. The last one, getting rid of some of those fields in here, storage centers. Again, we're going to go ahead and upgrade those guys. Great. So our warning that, hey, our warehouses are all full has disappeared. So that's excellent. It's working how we wanted it to do. And we got those sprinkled around pretty good, I think. I think we'll be okay with what we have for the storage centers. Okay, but our bakery is good to go. So let's see what we got going on in the bakery. So we have the food for travel. That's a new one. So that's going to use cookies, toast, croissants, and some cans of stuff to make food for travel. We also have fruit cake. So we're going to need some cakes and then jam to do all that stuff. We don't really have cakes going on. Fruit pies, of course, you're gonna need some pie and some honey and some fruit. Don't have any of that. So here's where you make the pies. And then here's cake and then cookies. So here's all these other little things right in here. This is very similar to our bread shop. A lot of the same things. But of course, it's just more like an advanced version of that. So that's where these things are coming in. So I don't think we're gonna utilize much of anything in here right now. Our flour and stuff just isn't quite up to where it should be for some of this stuff. And we don't even have any eggs. So we'll just go for pies and we'll see how that works. Flour's not great, and butter we were using for steak. So we'll leave it like that. We'll see how that works. Get a little bit more of that food stuff coming in. That'll be a decent thing, I think. Gourmet shop and our feast, 36 last year and up to 72 this year. Pretty good. We'll be able to get some oven upgrades in there as well. So hopefully that's helping out our stress, and we're back up to 28. So nothing apparent. You know, it feels like an uphill battle. It really does. We're building all these nice houses. You know, we got some good food going on, and I just can't seem to get any ground with the stress level. It's kind of frustrating, kind of annoying. All right, and we do have one tech point available. Let's go ahead. We'll go and get wearable learned. I'll close durability plus 50%. Okay, processing has been complete. So livability and science are all done, as well as processing. Now, for trade, what do we got going on here? We need jewelry if we want to do that. That's going to be able to process silver and gold sand or jade into jewelry for trading. We currently are doing fantastic with our carving workshop as far as trading stuff goes. So I'm not really sure if we care about that. And I don't really know if I care about much of anything else in here either. We don't have enough people really to have a ton of caravans going out, so that doesn't really seem like a wise choice. Coming over in here to the mining side of things, the only other building we have is Jade House. That's going to use some stone to get some jade. And we do have some stone in reserve. That's a possibility that we could use some of that, but then that's a whole nother thing with jade. And then over in here we have landfill. This can transform mountains or rivers into flat ground. So it's an interesting thing. It levels things out. It makes things easier to build. It's kind of nice. And then river digging is kind of the opposite. We're going to dig so that the water can flow in different spots. And then construction, we have a couple other little things. I haven't grabbed construction techniques because we haven't had to demo a whole lot of stuff, so I didn't really want to dedicate any points to it. There haven't been disasters that are going to be knocking down our stuff, so this is kind of irrelevant. And then if things aren't getting broken, they don't need to be rebuilt, so there's that. And then of course we have the bridge building over in here. This is just a different bridge. We can still build them, but this one is just nicer looking. And then we have the brick road that's utilizing brick, of course, for roads. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have the luxury avenue. We get jade roads and gold roads, and a jade bridge, which looks pretty neat. But again, jade, I don't know if we're gonna bother with that. Agriculture. The other things that I want to do, and we'll probably do this in the next episode. Fish pond, fishing. I would want to get some fishing going in here. Get some of that silver going in. Get some lobsters happening. All that high-end stuff like that. Processing's done. Logistical stuff, we have the supply terminal and delivery station, but I don't think we don't really need these right now. I think we're doing pretty good on most of those technologies, and I'm kind of just going over those because I want to also just do it for me. I'm trying to think of how many more episodes we want to do here, so I was hoping to get this series wrapped up before City Skylines 2 came out. But that'll be here on Tuesday, so for you guys that'll be tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I want to just continue on with this series, if we want to call it here in the next episode. I don't really want to end it early. I want to finish it up and be happy with where I call it. So we'll probably do at least one more episode of Settlement Survival here and get some more points and get all that stuff working. So we'll do that. And then of course next week, as mentioned, City Skylines 2. I'll probably be doing some streaming because I am very, very excited about that one. But I think that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night.